back to Above Average Podcast number 7. Welcome
Hi.
back. We took a week break. That is all on me. I'll take full responsibility. I
No,
was
it
in
was not
Greece.
just Eve. We both had our own things to do.
hmm
Eve went to Greece, I went to New York, and
hmm
now we are finally,
Back in the swing of
catching up.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
catching
we have
up.
some
And
exciting things coming for this podcast. I'm super excited. Nancy's super excited. We're going to get the ball rolling on some certain things that you guys will enjoy a lot too. But this week, we're going to kind of dive into traveling, kind of talk about what we did on our certain travels, and then get into the struggles and the troubles of traveling as tall women. But I went to Greece. I have been wanting to go to Greece forever. I was supposed to go to Greece when I turned 17, but that was the year of COVID. Because I love the movie Mamma Mia, and I was like, you know what? I want to be 17, dancing queen in the Greek islands, but unfortunately that never happened, and I finally got to fulfill that dream this last couple of weeks. But it was amazing. I loved it. It's one of my top places I've ever been. I've kind of been all over the world. I've traveled a lot. And I would say now officially my top two places I've ever been are Greece and Croatia. I think it has a lot to do with how pretty it is, the food, and all of that. But the main thing that really stood out to me about Greece is how kind the people were. They were so kind, and any of them that were amazed by my height, it wasn't like, oh my God, you're so tall. Holy cow, like that kind of reaction.
yeah,
It was very much, you're so beautiful, you stand out, how blessed are you to have this height, that kind of reaction, which is the kind of
yeah,
reaction we love, we want. So it was just amazing, and the people were so nice, and it was beautiful, obviously. I got to do a lot of cool different things, and it's one of my favorite trips that I've been on, but I'm looking forward to hopefully going back one day. But Nancy went to New York. Tell us a little bit about New York, Miss Nance.
yeah. New York was fun. I've just, obviously I went with Blondie, but because my life has just been so consumed with basketball
hmm
for my whole life, basically, whether I was an athlete and then into coaching.
hmm
But now I'm able to, do my own thing and travel without feeling guilty that I'm missing something, And so it was actually very relaxing. It was therapeutic.
hmm
It was a very good trip. But
Yeah.
we didn't really have time to go out to Times Square to
Yeah.
really get people's reactions, public
hmm
reactions.
hmm
And so we did end up going shopping because a friend, he wanted me to try a Michelin star restaurant.
What's that mean?
And I don't know, it's bougie. I'll tell you that. So Blondie and I went. We didn't have any like fancy clothes. We didn't pack anything.
hmm
And so we had to go shopping. We found dresses at Anthropologie by
That
the
fit
grace
you?
of God. That fit. I was surprised. We both did.
Were they
And so
bodycons?
mine was, and hers was, Blondie's was too. It was similar
Okay.
to
Yeah,
that. It was
those
like
those
a,
are easier to get to fit because there's nothing
yeah.
that has to fit in certain areas. Yeah.
It's similar to a a bodycon midi dress,
Gotcha.
so that
Gotcha.
it's not too short or too
hmm
long or awkwardly long. But we went to Anthropology, found dresses. Blondie didn't have heels, but I
hmm
brought two pairs of heels. I brought my 3 inch heels, and then I think, what is it, my 6 inch heels. So y'all, this is the first time I wore heels out in public to a
hmm
restaurant.
Uh-huh.
And so, just to give you perspective, I wore the 3 inch heels.
hmm
Blondie wore the 6 or 7 inch heels that I had.
hmm
We were the same height. If not,
Oh.
Blondie was probably maybe an inch taller,
hmm
but we were both the same height. She had the 6 inch, I had the 3 inch. We were dang near the same height. But the
That's a
stares
power
that we
couple right there.
got, no, I know. I wish we had somebody traveling with us to
To
film
video it.
everybody's
Yeah.
reactions of us wearing those heels together.
hmm
Yes, we got, damn, y'all are tall, blah, blah, blah. Or, wow, you're so beautiful wearing the heels, blah, 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 whatever. But it was a really good experience. But the Michelin star restaurant, bougie. I told my
What'd you
friend, I
get?
said, it was, we got the menu at the end of the thing, and it was 19 freaking courses.
How do
I
you
I
even eat that
counted
much?
I counted everything, and like
And you
it
didn't get to choose
included,
what you ate?
no, it was just like a prepared menu already. And so I told my friend, I said, I am grateful for the experience, but it is too bougie for me in terms
Mm-hmm.
of almost eating raw fish. Had
Ew.
caviar,
No, thank
not
you.
for me, texture issue. It was almost raw fish, but it was cooked a little bit. It had
Yeah.
some kind of flavoring where you knew it was
Mm-hmm.
cooked, but for me, I don't care, that was raw. But I give myself credit, I did try it.
You tried it,
Would I
yeah.
do it again? Absolutely not.
Yeah, probably
So,
not. What is that?
some kind of like, I mean, the menu's somewhere, but that's basically raw fish.
Ooh.
Oh, here's the caviar.
Ooh. No,
But
thank you.
the dessert, I was all for it.
Mm-hmm. You're
But
like,
so I
holy
said,
cow.
thank you. I was so grateful. But I said, I appreciate it
Won't be
for the
doing
experience.
again. Yeah.
But it was fun traveling to New York. But
I can't even
obviously,
imagine just you and Blondie there in heels because the attention that you and I get when we're in our sweatshirts and sweatpants looking like hobos walking down the street. I can't even imagine you and Blondie dressed to the T in heels in New
right.
York. Oh my God, that's mind blowing.
And I kid you not, maybe like I would say probably like 4 months ago, you wouldn't have catch me wearing
Oh
heels out
yeah.
in
I
public
knew you four
like
months
that.
ago. Girl, that wasn't happening.
And then
Absolutely
here we
not.
are. So it was fun. It was a good experience. It was a good trip. I had fun. It was good, but glad to be home, recuperate.
Hmm.
But traveling, my body ached so bad from how uncomfortable I was, and I don't risk it in terms of when I get my plane ticket.
Hmm.
I used to wait till I got to the airport to ask if I can get exit row for free.
Hmm.
But at this point in my life, I'm not risking it, and so I'll just go ahead and buy exit row, and then afterwards I submit a claim, and I'm basically saying, by the way, I'm 6'10",
Yeah.
and I haven't had an issue in terms of getting refunded for buying the exit
Really?
row seat. Yeah, so that's what I'll go ahead and buy exit row, and then after the whole trip is done, I will request
I've
a
never tried
reimbursement.
that. Yeah,
You need to try it.
I always, like, I travel cheap, so I always get the
Mhm.
boondocks of the plane, the cheapest, like, ticket that I can get, and I'll go,
Yeah,
like, every time I'll go up to the little counter and be like, hey, anything available? Like, look at me, you know I'm gonna struggle, and I would say, like, 90% of the time they're able to get me something better. But I've never tried that, like, doing a claim. I've never heard of that. I should try that, because there are those
yeah,
sometimes they're like, no, sorry, flight's full type beat. But yeah, and like,
yeah,
especially for Greece. Like, so it sucked. Like, I loved Greece, but the worst part obviously was the travel, but it was at an 11
yeah.
and a half hour flight.
That's tough.
My, I was in the boondocks of the plane where you get 4 inches of leg room surrounded by 100 other people. It was so bad, and obviously all of those flights are full. They're not going to fly that plane if it's not full. And so I couldn't get any better seats, and even if they did, it wouldn't be free. But even
That's tough.
upgrading on those kind of flights, it's not going to be like an extra $50. It's going to be like an extra
It's
1,000.
hella expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like for that trip or like anytime I go overseas, it's like I just gotta push through and I'm like, I know it'll be better. Like once I get off the plane and I'm in these beautiful spaces, it'll be so much better. But even like when I was in Greece, like I was sleeping on little sofa beds where like my feet hung off and stuff like that. And my body was going through it, but like it was
I don't
worth
blame
it.
you.
It was worth it for the trip, but as soon as I got back home to my purple mattress, I was zonked. I was out. Like the first day I was back, my body was it hated me so much. I was
Yeah.
aching and squeaking and all of the above.
Well, I could only imagine because I ended up having to take, like, I'm over exaggerating here, but 10 Tylenol because my body was hurting so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Aching, like, at my knees, my back, my
Mm-hmm.
bum from
Mm-hmm.
having a bony butt and sitting. I
Yep.
mean, not that New York to Texas is an 11-hour flight. It
Yeah.
was a 3.5-hour flight, which
Yeah.
it's not comparable to you, but God
Yeah.
bless. I can't be uncomfortable. And I was, even in the
Mm-hmm.
exit row.
Yeah.
Just,
Yep.
and this like whole traveling thing for me, this is why I don't like to travel, is I am a people watcher. And the
Yeah.
more I watch people, the more disgusted that I get. Like, there's people that are just not self aware. They
Mm-hmm.
smell. They didn't brush their teeth. Like, I kid you not.
The
I had
hygiene.
a, yes, I had a 6 a.m. flight from New York on Tuesday morning. Took my medicine. I was sleeping on the plane. But whoever was near me literally woke me up out of my sleep from how bad their breath smelled. I like, this
And
is
this
why I
girl
will not
sleeps
travel.
hard. Nancy sleeps hard. Yeah. It's just
So,
people have no self-awareness and it's like when I'm on the plane and like I'd be sitting in a regular row and I'd just be sitting there and the person in front of me is like trying to lean their seat back and they're like,
nah, buddy, it
why
is
why
not
isn't
going
this
back.
working? Why isn't it this working? And then there's banging and banging backwards trying to figure out why they can't get to go the seat back. And then I have to be the person to tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, those are my knees. Sorry about it. You drew the short stick and you had to sit in front of me, but those are my knees. And you're
Yep.
not gonna get much those 2 inches aren't gonna make your flight that much better, and it's gonna make my flight that much worse.
But traveling is just a pain in the butt as a
Mm-hmm.
tall individual in general, and regardless
Mm-hmm.
of how tall you are, whether you're 5'10" or 7'3",
Mm-hmm.
traveling is not fun. I feel like traveling for individuals that are 5'4" and below, that's basically what economy,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But that's why I try to avoid, well, when I book my flight, this is what I do. When I book my flight, I look at the flight and I go to the seat map just to see like
Mm-hmm.
what seats are available. And so that'll also determine what time my flight is. Like I have to have a
Mm-hmm.
good seat on the plane. And so before I
Yeah.
even book the ticket, I look at the seat map.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's plenty of exit row, that's the one I pick.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but you will not catch me sitting in economy at all. Mm-mm.
You're
So I
better
don't
than
know how
I
you did
am.
it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
it
how
was
you did it.
rough. It was rough.
I get irritated when I am uncomfortable, and whether
Mm-hmm.
that is being uncomfortable in general, my body hurting, I'm not in a good mood, I get irritable.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do not want to see me like that. And if I had somebody banging into my knees, I'm gonna take the top of the seat and just shake it.
Shake it. Yeah. It's I'm the same way when I get hungry. When I'm hungry, I get irritable. And
Uh-huh.
like on that 11-hour flight, they feed you two meals. The first one, it like you got what did I get? Oh, I chose the ravioli and you got
Ooh.
5 pieces of ravioli.
Oh my God.
Yep. And a piece of bread with some butter and I was starving and I clicked my little button for like the flight attendant like, hey, are there any other snacks? Like, I'm starving. Like, I need food. And she's like, yeah, you can come to the back and there's some items for purchase. And I go back there and there's this tiny little basket and I look in it. And it's got a bag of pretzels. It got like those little tiny like airplane cookies, like a bag of fruit snacks, just like tiny little snacks. So I like grabbed the fruit snacks and it was like a Welch's bag of fruit snacks, like just one with like 10 fruit snacks in it. Guess how much it was?
It's probably like $8.
They wanted $8 for a bag of fruit snacks. I'm like, y'all better be kidding me right now. You're
That's crazy.
you're joking. It was astronomical and I was just so hungry the whole time. So I was hungry, I was uncomfortable, and the first like on the flight there, their entertainment system used to was going on and off, and so like I was trying to watch a movie, and like every 45 minutes it'd randomly just restart, and then it wouldn't remember where I was in the movie, and so I had to figure it out. It was just I was so annoyed. It was a it
Uh-uh.
was a rough flight.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
it
at
was
least you
not
got it
good.
over with and you survived
Yeah.
because you are
Hmm.
better than me. But it's also funny with us being tall girls or tall in general. I mean, we are both tall and slender, and our metabolisms are fast. And so when
Uh-huh.
I travel with a crap ton of snacks. I
Hmm.
mean, like, I did you just not think to pack snacks?
I was just full to the brim with stuff, like,
Mm,
because when I travel overseas, I always check a bag. So all my stuff
mm-hmm.
was down and checked, but I have to have, I'm like paranoid that they're gonna lose my bag. So I have like a change of clothes, my
Yep.
medicine, toiletries all in my backpack, and that boy was stuffed full. So there was no room in that thing for anything. So, I
That's
mean, usually
tough.
I'll take like some snacks with me and stuff like that. But even if I had some snacks, it wouldn't have like made me comfortable for an 11 and a half hour flight. Two meals
Right.
for 11 and a half hours, meals, quote unquote, is not enough for any person.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm paying you 2 grand for this flight. Y'all can give me a little bit more food. It was rough, but it's worth it for the destination. And maybe one day when I'm rich and famous, I'll get myself a first class seat, but it's not happening anytime soon. But even the first
Not
class
any.
seats, when they lay down the bed, there's no way my butt's gonna fit in there.
No, we still have to lay fetal position because
Yeah,
our
it'll
legs
still.
won't be
I
able to
mean,
go
it'll be
straight.
better. They'll be better, but there's no way that it's like we'll
No.
be fully comfortable. Airport staff, they're either 0 or 100. They're either like so accommodating and so understanding about your height and like, oh my gosh, let me help you out, or they're like, sucks to be you, I can't do anything. There's no in between.
Basically.
Yeah,
Yep.
so like you just gotta hope that you're like around the ones that care and are like, oh my gosh, let me help you be comfortable. So, did you do a lot of family road trips growing up? Or did you travel growing up?
Yeah, for the most part. I just remember we wouldn't fly though. We would
Oh,
drive.
okay.
So I was born and raised in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and my aunt lived in Atlanta, so that wasn't a problem. But my uncle lived in New York. And so every year we would take a trip up to New York and drive.
Would you fit your whole
Obviously,
family in the car?
yeah, we had Suburbans.
Mm-hmm.
So Ford Expedition. That
Yeah.
that I remember. We were just vibing out. Now obviously we're still ginormous for
Packed in
that
like
kind of
sardines.
car. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It was
I
doable. Did you guys like fight at all about who got shotgun and who got what spots, or did you have your dedicated spots?
dedicated spots. I know typically my older brother would get the front seat, but if he didn't want the front seat, it wasn't that big of a deal. We would just take turns.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember, so my older brother growing up, he always said whoever's tallest gets the front seat. And that worked out for him for up until I think like I turned 15. And
I was gonna say,
he's almost the same height as me, but I'm just a smidgen, maybe a half an inch taller than him. And he never
mm-hmm.
thought I would be taller than him. And he's like, checkmate, like you're never getting shotgun. And I
Yeah.
remember the day that I came home from the doctor where they measure you, and I was officially taller than him because we would go at the same time because you have to go get like your like
Yeah.
medical concussion whatever for school sports, and they measured us and I was taller than him, and I remember the day, it's like a flashbulb memory, that I was like, we were getting into the car and I called shotgun and he was like, oh no, you don't get shotgun, and I was like, well, you've always said whoever's tallest gets shotgun, and guess who just got measured as taller. Like I it's a flashbulb memory in my brain. So
Aw.
then, but I mean my parents weren't having it, so then we would just evenly split
Right.
it. So but it
Yeah.
was,
Makes
I
sense.
remember that day, the day that I was officially taller than my brother. But
Aw.
like if you look at us right next to each other, you can't tell. And I mean, like he has boy hair too, so that gives him a little half an inch. But
Right. I was gonna
yeah,
say.
but growing up, my family did a lot of road trips. We never flew anywhere. If we were
Yeah,
going, like
that
we grew up in Iowa, we would go to the Hilton Head Island for Christmas a lot to see
mhm.
family. Never
Mhm.
flew, always drove 16 hours. We did road trips out. to like to see the redwood forest and stuff like that. That was like 18 like 2-day drives. We road tripped everywhere. We rarely flew. And
Yeah.
like my family's tall, obviously not as tall as yours, but obviously my mom and dad would both get the front seat. And they were the two shortest in the family. So then it's my brother and I, who's like so tall in the back seat. And like we had, it's not like we had small cars, but we didn't have big cars.
Hmm.
Like we did a Kia Telluride for a while, or like my dad's truck. And so we were smushed. And
Yeah.
with all of our luggage and everything, we were smushed.
But
And
I think that is what makes traveling in a car, you know?
yeah.
It's not supposed to be comfortable, and I think
hmm
it's more for the experience,
hmm
bonding.
Oh, that
I
was
don't
not us.
know.
We just fought, and I
Yeah,
was
definitely
silly.
not like not bonding
hmm
bonding, but just,
Yeah, you
being
have
everyone's
memories.
presence. Yeah, and so I
hmm
feel that traveling via car, it's just a different type of traveling experience than it is when you fly, especially
Yeah,
as a family.
yeah. I mean, I've had
I
some
know when
wacky
I'm
things go on in
I
airports, but
yeah, I know whenever I have a family, not that I'm a fan of driving, but I do want to go on road trips and just,
hmm I
the
loved driving
nostalgia
around
of
with
it
you
all.
because, I mean, obviously it was just you and I, so we could back our seats all the way up. But we would just like jam out to music and we'd have debriefs and stuff in the car, which is
Yeah,
fine. But like when I was on road trips growing up, I got creative with how I was sitting in those seats, like to
one
try to
million
get
percent.
comfortable. Like I would get my butt all the way up against the front seat so my torso could be flat, legs in the
Yep,
air. Or I would turn
yep,
all the way around. I would flip it around. I'd put the seat down flat, shove
yep.
all the suitcase to the side. But my parents always had the rule that you have to have your seatbelt on no matter what. So I'd lay the seat down flat. I would put the seatbelt over top of the whole seat and put
Yep,
myself. I would do anything to get comfortable on those car rides.
for sure.
But yeah, but usually I would just like everybody talks about road trip games and everything. I would take some meds and knock myself out and get make it go as fast as possible. I
Yeah.
don't understand how like my dad, he's fine driving 16 hours straight. I don't get it. You give me a 4-hour road trip and I'm asleep by the end of it.
Mm-mm.
And
I
like
don't
driving
like.
through the night, I don't get it. And he just power throughs. He doesn't complain. He'll like he'll want to drive. He doesn't want anybody else to drive. I'm like, how do you do that?
Mm-mm. Yeah,
No,
you can go ahead and drive. I'll figure.
I'll
Not
sit in
that
the
I want
back
to sit in a
seat.
car
Yeah,
for 16 hours,
yeah.
but
I would make forts
yeah,
too. So I had my own little room. I'd put a
yeah.
blanket over the headrest and have forts and stuff.
We had the TV that
Oh
was in
yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah.
So we would always like agree on a movie, like
Mhm,
don't mess with the Zohan. Not
mhm.
appropriate, but God bless. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't. No.
Oh my gosh, it's so vulgar. So while my mom is driving, you just hear like what at the time we're probably 10 watching
Mhm.
this kind of movie. It's yeah, so
Yeah.
we had to entertain ourselves somehow.
My go-to movie was Over the Hedge.
That's a good one.
Nowadays, I can't watch the same movie like more than once unless it's been like
Mm-mm.
multiple years. But
Yep.
back when you had those like personal little like players, you had to have like the DVDs for them and you'd have those like little flip case full of all your DVDs.
Yep.
But we only had like 10. So we'd go on road trip after road trip and we just rotate through the same exact movies over and over again. I
Yeah.
mean, mine was like Over the Hedge, The Three Stooges, Mamma Mia, The Croods, and then like my brother had like Prehistoric Park. He loved dinosaurs, so it was like all over the place.
Very different, unique.
Yeah, it was funny, but yeah, I mean, road trips were rough, and we eventually bought like little pads to put on the back of the front seats because we would
Mm-hmm.
like dent the plastic from our knees and stuff like that.
Mm.
So we ended up putting like felt pads over the back of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it just road tripping was rough. It was
Yeah,
so bad.
road tripping, traveling as
Mhm.
a tall person or family is just
Mhm.
it's a good experience. I would say if you want to know what it's like to travel as a tall person,
Get a smart car.
get in a tiny car
Yep.
and
Drive 16 hours in a smart car.
yeah,
Come back and report
but
and tell us how you feel.
exactly. We would love to hear your feedback and how
Yeah.
uncomfortable and how much your body aches and how
Mhm.
you didn't get any sleep, how much you argued, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. It's all about the destination. Everybody's like, "Oh,
Yep,
I'm so excited to go on vacation." It's about the destination, not about how you get there.
exactly.
Opposite of how you think of life, but
Right.
yeah, it's rough. What car do you drive now? Or what cars have you driven? Like since you started driving, what ones have you driven?
So, my first car was a Chevrolet Equinox.
Mm-hmm.
I fit in that. And then I got a Lincoln MKX.
Mm-hmm. You got some bouge cars growing up.
Chill out.
My parents had the philosophy that if you can't pay for your own car, you get a beater car.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But um so I had a Lincoln MKX. And tell me why my mom, every freaking car that I get
Mm-hmm.
outside of, okay, so I had a Chevrolet Equinox, my first car, Lincoln
Mm-hmm.
MKX, a Volkswagen Atlas, and now I have a BMW X5.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why my mom, when I got the Lincoln MKX, she was like, oh my gosh, I love this car. Ended up getting a Lincoln MKX.
Yeah.
Got my BMW. She was like, oh my gosh, this
Did
is a
she get a
really
matching
nice
car as
car.
you?
No, she did. Well, she has her eye on the BMW X3. She doesn't want
Mm-hmm.
that big of a car because it's just her. And she's like, I just like to whip around and do what I want to do. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
honestly, I could see her in the BMW X3,
Mm-hmm.
but she has a Ford Edge, which is similar to the Lincoln MKX because she did
Yeah.
have a Lincoln MKX, but
Mm-hmm.
then that one broke, and so she really liked that car, and so she ended up getting a Ford Edge.
Yeah.
But since I've gotten my BMW, yeah, it's bougie and
Mm-hmm.
probably too bougie for her, but she actually really likes the BMW X3, so we'll see if
Yeah.
she ends up getting that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's all of my cars. What about you?
Yeah. No, I was there when you had the Atlas, and that's when it broke. And then I was there when you got your BMW, and that thing is bougie. My God. I remember we went, whatever coffee shop that you love, like Dutch Bros or something that you have out there. It was
Uh-huh.
like the first time I got in the car and we get there, and she goes to park, and she just presses a button, and it just does it for her.
It backed into the spot.
Imagine being so bad of a parker that you just have to have your car do it for you.
Your girl cannot reverse park, so
Or
why not get a car that does it for you? But
it was,
yeah.
or we got into the car and like I like accident like I was grabbing something that was in front of me. And so I leaned down to grab, I think it was like my sunglasses, and the seatbelt just automatically just like tightened and like choked me back. It was like, no, you can't do that. I was like, oh my
It
God.
was like, ooh, I'm being choked here.
Yeah. And like and then I was like every time she turned the car on, I was like, oh, I can't wait for Nancy's car to give me a hug. It's so weird.
Even my mom, still to this day, she goes, it does it. It does the
Mhm.
pull. And she
Mhm.
goes, I hate that. I'm like,
Yeah. I was just surprised.
wait,
I've never been in a car that does that before.
who
Meanwhile,
doesn't
my
like to be
car, I gotta
choked a
roll
little
down
bit?
the windows manually. Yeah.
That's
No, but
funny.
the cars that I had, my brother grew up. This is the car that I thought I was gonna have first. But my brother grew up driving a Chevy Sierra truck that was 16 years old. They
Mm-hmm.
got it, I think, the year before I was born, maybe. And that's the car that I thought I was gonna have, but that one kicked the bucket like I want to say like 6 months before I got my permit. And so then I started driving my mom's old car. It was like a 2005 Subaru Outback. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember when she got that car, like there was a huge debate on what color to get it in.
Oh God.
And my
Did
mom
you
still
get
lived.
the green?
No. I
No?
wish it was the green. That would have been better. But my mom's solution was to get a color that neither of them were like talking about getting. They're like, okay, we want different colors. We're gonna get one that nobody wants. So they got like a bright baby blue.
Okay.
It was so bad. I would have taken the green over the baby blue, but it was like
Oh
fluorescent
no.
baby blue and it was rough. But I drove that for a while, like when I was freshly 14, just driving to school.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad by any means, but it wasn't very spacious. Like I was definitely cramped,
Yeah.
but I could fit without having to like bend my head over or like having my knees up on the dash and stuff like that. But it was pretty cramped. And then
Gotcha.
after that, I drove a two-door Jeep Wrangler for a while, maybe for like a year. None of these were like my cars. They were like my parents' old
Yeah.
cars or what was around. I didn't get my first car until I was in college. I want to say my freshman year when I was at Creighton. My uncle owns a business and they would have Toyota Corollas for all their employees. And
Mm.
we went to him and was like, can we buy one of your old ones? So we got it for a really good deal, super cheap. My God, I did not fit in that car. I've never fit
I
worse
could
in
have
a
told you
car.
that.
Well, it was like I had to be able to afford it. And so I put that
Right.
seat all the way back. So when I drove, I had to drive like kind of like bent over a little bit so that I could see under the top of the car to be able to see the lights and all that stuff. And then by the time that I sold it, on both sides of the steering wheels, there were cracks where my knees went because they pressed on it
Mm.
so much that the plastic just cracked.
That's crazy.
So I did not fit in that car whatsoever. But it was a college car. It got me from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So it worked its purpose, but it wasn't my favorite. I couldn't go on long drives with it because all of the charging ports were broken, so I couldn't keep my phone charged, so I kind of have maps and stuff like that. But eventually that one kicked the bucket, and that's when I got the car that I have now. I remember I was friends with Nancy. It was within the past year that I got my new car.
Sure did.
I got a Chevy Blazer and I fit in it immaculately. Like I love it.
Aw.
But I remember talking to Nancy and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford this car. Like I'm pressed into a quarter right now. I'm still a college
I
student. I
remember
gotta pay.
this.
I was like, I gotta pay for my last semester of school and I was stressing. But I got it all figured out and was able to take out like loans and stuff like that and it's working itself out now. Now that I mean, in college I was making negative money because I had to pay for school. So, because I never planned on having to pay for school, I always planned
No,
on
I
having full
know.
ride. So,
Yeah.
but I love it. I fit so well. One of my really big things when I was looking for a car is having a sunroof because I love sunroofs. I think it just adds a vibe to a car. But I love it. It wasn't too expensive. It wasn't like outrageously expensive. It was affordable for me. I
Yeah.
fit, and there was still room in the back for people to sit when I was driving. It had lots of
That's what
room.
we have to consider. Okay, where's my seat when I drive and can somebody sit behind me?
The shorter
Like,
person also has to sit behind
yeah.
us. Yeah,
Right.
you got to plan it out.
Right.
But there's lots of room. I love it, and I don't know. I love it. I'll keep it for a while. I'm a person that
Mhm.
drives my cars into the ground because that's the most financially responsible thing to do. But I love it, and yeah, I mean, Mitchell, my partner, he drives a Ford Fusion. It's probably a bigger on the
Oh, I
like
remember,
car
yeah.
size. And so we fit into it pretty well when you put all the seats back, but then no one can sit in the back seat. But I also just hate low set cars because getting in and out of them is just so hard. I can't do it. And that was another thing when I was choosing my cars. I didn't want Sunny. I didn't want a low set car because getting in and out of it was like having to
It's
get
like
up
a
off the
doing a
ground.
squat. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So I wanted
Who
a
wants to
higher
do a
set car.
squat every time they get in and out of the car?
Yeah, and it was just like I was going into the real world and I needed a car that wasn't just like big yan.
Dude, seriously. Do you just want to come here?
Come
Come
to the
here.
mic.
Can you sit?
Tell us what you have to say. What's on your mind,
Yeah.
Sunny?
Tell us. What snackies do you want today? Say, I love busy
Busy
bones.
Bones.
Say I love busy bones. Wait, smell it. Can you
Give it a sniff.
ASMR?
Quick intervention
So,
for Sunny.
but
Yeah, but when I was looking for my car, my parents were like, it's gonna be a lot more financially responsible to get like a car rather than an SUV. And I'm like, I'm tired of
right.
having to sit down to get in and out of a car. So yeah, the SUV is way more practical on that end, and
Yeah.
it looks a lot better
Your
than my old Corolla. It was
yeah,
gold too, so it wasn't
your car
visually appealing.
your car now is really cute. It
Yeah,
fits
I
you,
love it.
so
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Her name's Taryn. Taryn.
Like a
Taryn.
Karen.
What? No, Taryn with
Taryn
a
with a
T.
T?
Yeah. What's your car's name?
Ace.
Ace. Yeah. It looks like an ace.
It's a dark gray, almost
Mhm.
black,
Yeah, it's like a space
metallic.
gray. It's a sexy car. It fits you. It's booze just like you are. High maintenance just like you are.
I know that's why I'm gonna have trouble finding somebody that can maintain my lifestyle.
Well, you're already maintaining it yourself, so
Yeah, as long as
they'll
I
just
can
add
maintain
to
it
it.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but yeah, traveling, that's basically us in a nutshell when we travel.
yeah,
There's things that people just don't think of or consider for tall people while we travel. So,
yeah. And if you have any more questions or like tips and tricks that you want to know from us, let us know. But that's kind of our
yep,
experiences with travel and growing up and like airplanes and all those different sort of things. And obviously it sucks. But we make it
yep.
work because there's no other option unless Nancy's gonna get rich and famous and buy me a private jet, which I would love.
I'm by us.
By
Okay.
us, we can have our own. They can be matching. Yeah,
Let me work on that.
but we'd have to get it custom made so that there's room, like the seats have room
I
for us.
know, so that we don't have to duck to get onto the
Get into it.
plane,
Yeah.
and the ceiling of the plane will be higher.
Mm-hmm.
The bathrooms won't be short,
Yeah.
and
The couple times that I've been on private jets, like they were less comfortable than
really?
yeah, because they're these tiny little planes.
Yeah, hell no. The one that I was on,
It was
I
nice.
kid you not, the bathroom was like you were a king or queen and
Mm-hmm.
you were sitting on a throne.
Wow. Well, I've been on like three, and
I
like
was able to change in that bathroom without having to duck or feel uncomfortable.
that must have
So,
been a big private plane.
it was bouge.
When I think of private planes, I think of the tiny little planes that, yeah, they're bougie inside, but they're still tiny little planes.
Yeah, no, not this one.
Lucky girl. But
I
it's
think
also
I
like
have
since they're
Sonny, seriously, let the French tell you see this? Come on, man. You're gonna shock yourself. Thank you.
yeah, but when I think of private jets, they're just smaller than other ones, and so like when you fly in them, the turbulence is also insane. That's just like
Oh, I
it's
love
a
it.
different.
It's like, let's go. It's a roller coaster.
You're on a roller coaster, but yeah, we're gonna have to deal with all these problems until we can buy ourselves our own matching private jets. So
Yep.
that's all we have for today. Thank you for coming and listening or watching, and we hope to see you guys next week.
Yep. We'll see ya.